All right, let's talk about something that every facility manager, every architect, every person who runs a large building has to deal with: signage. We're going to dive into how you can go from those cluttered, confusing hallways to communication systems that actually work, that are clean, effective, and, believe it or not, even look good.
So take a second and just picture your own facility. Do a quick mental walkthrough. Are the hallways clear? Is it easy to get around? Or is it kind of that chaotic mix of different plaques, signs, and notices all piled on top of each other over the years? It's a super common problem, but one that has a really powerful modern solution. The real question is, are you using it?
The core issue, the thing we're really talking about here, is signage clutter. You know what I mean? It's that visual noise that just builds up. A metal plaque gets installed one year, a vinyl sticker goes up the next, and then there's a paper notice taped to a door. This piecemeal approach doesn't just look messy, it actually makes it harder for people to find their way, and it totally waters down your brand identity.
Okay, so to really understand the solution, we first need to look at the two big competing ideas for how to do facility signage. And this isn't just about what material you use. It's a totally different way of thinking about what a wall is even for.
So on one side, you've got the traditional way, right? Physical plaques and vinyl graphics that are literally stuck on the wall. But on the other side, you have these integrated digital murals, where all of that wayfinding and branding info becomes a part of the wall itself.
The traditional system is what most of us know and, well, have had to live with. It's built on physical things, plaques, panels, mounted with screws or heavy-duty adhesives. And sure, it works, but it almost always leads to cluttered walls, a bunch of holes you have to patch later, and this fragmented look as new signs get added over time. Digital wall printing. This is the challenger, and it's a completely different approach. It's an adhesive-free technology that lets you print these beautiful, high-res graphics directly onto almost any surface. Drywall, brick, you name it. This method basically turns an entire wall into one single, cohesive canvas for all your navigation, branding, and safety info. So the big question is, how do these two philosophies really stack up in the real world? We're going to put them head-to-head across a few key areas that really matter most to anyone managing a facility. First up, aesthetics. How does it look and feel? Traditional signs almost always feel like an afterthought, right? Something just stuck on the wall. Digital printing, on the other hand, feels built in. It's like it was part of the original design. The graphics are embedded right into the architecture, perfectly lining up with door frames and corners for a completely seamless look. No seams, no hardware, just clean, clear communication. Okay, let's talk life cycle, because this is huge. Traditional signs have so many failure points. Adhesives start to peel, plaques get dinged up or bent, and maintenance means you're patching walls and reordering new panels. With digital printing, maintenance is as simple as wiping down a painted wall, and updates, they can be reprinted in a matter of hours, not weeks. And speaking of speed, this is an absolute game changer. The typical installation time for a digital mural in a main corridor or lobby is less than 5 hours. Just think about that for a second. An entire zone can be completely transformed in a single morning or afternoon maintenance window. That kind of speed has a massive impact on your day-to-day operations. The old way, it's a whole production. You've got weeks of fabrication lead time, then a noisy, dusty installation that can shut down entire corridors. The new way, it's a single, quiet site visit. No drilling, no smelly adhesives, and basically zero downtime. It's night and day. Now, you might be thinking you have to pick one or the other. Throw out everything old and go all in on the new. But actually, the expert approach, the really smart way to do this, isn't a total replacement. It's a hybrid solution that takes the best of both systems. Here's how it works, and it's pretty brilliant. Step 1, you let the digital printing do all the heavy lifting. All the big visual stuff, the arrows, the maps, the color-coded zones, that all gets printed right on the wall. Then, step 2, you add the small, code-compliant tactile and braille plaques only where they're legally required, like for permanent room IDs right next to a door. And with this hybrid model, you really get the best of both worlds. You drastically cut down on the visual clutter and the sheer number of physical signs, which creates a much cleaner, more modern environment. And you do all that while staying perfectly 100% ADA compliant. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually make it happen? How do you implement this? Let's walk through a really practical framework you can take to your very next project meeting. This 6-step plan is your roadmap. You start by mapping out your content, what gets printed versus what needs to be a physical plaque. Then you run a pilot test to make sure it works on your surfaces. After that, you just define clear requirements for everything from cleaning protocols to that sub-5-hour installation time. This framework just sets you up for long-term success, especially if you're managing multiple sites.
And here's a key piece of advice that comes directly from the source material. Start small. You don't have to overhaul your entire campus all at once. Pilot a single corridor or one floor. Measure the results. Track the downtime you avoided. See if people understand it better, and calculate the life cycle cost savings. Then you can use that real-world data to build your case for scaling up.
So let's end with this thought. When you move away from just a collection of shouting signs and move towards an integrated visual system, you're not just improving navigation. You're creating a smarter, a calmer, and a more effective environment for everyone. The real question is, what story do you want your walls to tell?